This is just for my records. So if I post this, it'll just be straight up what it is. But it's really coming through me right now. Okay, Matt. So this would be the ground. There's a tree, so we know that's mountains, people. Okay. How do they spell it? Toroidal field? Doesn't matter how they. Let me see if they can do it. Toroidal field? No. You racist. Well, they'll teach that. Let's just see what that says. Yeah, see, they even show you that. But not the whole extent. So those right there represent spirits. That's the spirit world. Like in Young Guns, when he goes, "You're in the spirit world, asshole. They can't see you." He goes, "Did you see the size of that chicken?" I guess I could do this though, because what we're going to see down here is going to be a hierarchy. And what I'm trying to do is give you that and try to envision this, which would be impossible if, because you have musicians down here that go on tour. Okay, let me get to the point and pull you in. Alright, they go on tour. Well, where does that tour word come from? It comes from these. Look, the tarot cards, Toro, the Torah knows all about the toroidal field, which would be geocentric. I don't want to get into drawing that. Okay, so there's lights in these constellations, and there is big boys in there. Okay, and what this thing does, the same thing that this is a rota. It rotates. Toro is tarot, has rota in it. The Rotary Club in school, it's this. You don't know that. So there's big boys in this, and you can even say that they're on tour every night. And all kinds of cool stories and fairy tales and folk shit comes from that. Because of the God's creation that we don't know shit about. So what very evil entity has done, it's taken what these big boys do up here and brought them down here into physical form in a very evil fucking way. And then the same way that these are on tour because of the toroidal field, they go on tour. The big boys are on tour in different houses, cities, we call them. So this thing went a long time ago. It was like, you know what we can do? We can trick these dumb people. We'll just turn all that into down here through them. We'll just force one of them into being a star, because there's stars. We'll even create Hollywood Star Boulevard, whatever, to where they even get a pentagram. A fucking pentagram. And they'll just tell you it's just a symbol. So what they've done is just copy the same way that all of the big boys work together up there in those lights to create spring, which is coming in the seasons that God created, is the same way that man created false stars for, instead of us not worshiping the heavens, but Psalms 19:1 says the heavens declare the glory of God. The firmament sheweth his handiwork. It means pay attention. So we do not do that. And what we do now is we worship stars / idols in replace of what is real that comes from here. And the same way that Jupiter is going to go through here eventually, through all of them, is the same way that this swinging dick, literally, Taylor Swift and Lady Gaga and them are going to go through tour down here. See, down here, they think that they're this deity. Well, you are. I know, but not to me, you're not. Listen, let me show you something. I'm going to show you what I can see. This. When was Ellen DeGeneres' last show?
May 26, 2022. According to Wikipedia, the show's final episode, which featured appearances by Jennifer Aniston, Billie Eilish, and Pink, aired as scheduled on May 26, 2022.
Look, I can see them for who they are. They're not physical form to me no more. And that's why I don't want to look at it no more. Because that's where I'm at. See, in order to really see this for what it is, listen to this. Listen. Just listen. What does Scripture say about conforming to the world?
According to Bible study tools, and do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God.
Doesn't matter how you feel about that. Shut up and listen. Okay? I grew up in church. Alright? So, and when I got in a lot of trouble or where alcohol took over, I was in a lot of different things. And my experience within the churches, in the communities and stuff. Okay? You know, I grew up when it's memorized verses and stuff. You know, there's no get to the root of anything. And if you really read this verse, listen to this. Even if you're against Scripture, you shouldn't be. Listen. And do not be conformed to this world. It says, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. Okay, but how do you renew your mind? Okay, do not be conformed to this world. All right? That's that. And then everything else within it's there. But by the renewing of your mind. You can't renew your mind when these are in there all the time. How's that going to happen? Well, you know how you do it? We know about the salts, guys, right? Yes. And you do it through not squandering your oil and your fluids away. And then again, you don't know anything about that. You got vending machines in school. Enough said. And if you can't put that together, then I'm not going to go in detail about it, because if somebody foreign is watching this, that Ahrimanic spirit, see, they cannot see that connection is so important to a mind in early development. They have no idea that they're stupid as shit and that children mock and mimic everything that adults do. And that's why that the Illuminati, people laugh, but they created the news. Okay, it's not hard. News is for stupid people. Just watch watch them. I ain't watched it in forever. But when you get away from it and go back to it, you'll start to see these fucking figures for who they are, like I'm telling you. And they ain't never had no choice. They were designed. Look, listen, Ellen, 19 seasons, watch. Ellen's show, how many seasons?
19 seasons. According to Wikipedia, during the course of the series, 3,294 episodes of The Ellen DeGeneres Show aired over 19 seasons between September 8, 2003 and May 26, 2022.
How many years is the moon cycle on?
According to UMass Amherst, the 18.6-YEAR lunar cycle is observed as a modulation in the outer extremes of the moon's monthly range of rising and setting for the years 2005 to 2007, and also 2023 to 2026. Each month the moon will rise and set more northerly and approximately 2 weeks later more southerly than the solar extremes.
You are so cute in your little invention. And whenever you used to Google it, it would say what's right under it. The best known of these is the tabular Islamic calendar. In brief, has a 30-year cycle with 11 leap years of 355 days and 19 years of 354 days. So it's 19 when you get into the real shit of it. And like we've said, like the renewing of your mind comes from the cells that you're going to get from what you eat from the ground, from that shit charging it. And when you go generations with none of that, then the fluid in the human being, which is the dumbest fucking creature ever that's walked the earth now. Everything in them is a weapon. Everything. And now their towers, cell towers that they think runs their whole anatomy. Like I said, go back to the other video, the blood. They run the whole person. That's not a human being. When you find out the truth, you'll finally see that they literally have fucking raised the whole world under black magic. This is the biggest ever. Listen, they shut the fucking world down and cut off all flying, which was bullshit in their little helium things, but that shit was everywhere. Free powered shit was everywhere. But that was only because they allowed certain inventions for them to make that and then grab that technology and hold on to it while they're recreating minds and fucking cultures at world fairs and all shit, only to sell it into the libraries and school systems as history, even though the word history ain't but 150 years old. You know, but you renew your mind through the cells and through what you put in you. And nobody knows that. It's the truth. Look, let me read something if I'm going to post this. I've gotten way off on a tangent, but it's pretty good. I think it is, because do you see how they imitate what's going on the other side, like we've said? And when it comes to the ether, this is the spirit realm up here. This is heaven. This is where you either come down or you your silver cord gets snapped and your physical form ceases, and then your astral and ether goes up here. And then, oh yeah, y'all don't know, listen, most people don't know anything. Look, Lord of the Rings, okay? Look, Saturn's the big boy. He's the furthest out. It'd be Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, be the first three, and then apply it to the ground. Saturn, Jupiter, Mars with the food. Saturn's light penetrates and controls the roots. So Saturn's light controls the bones. Makes sense. Your bones are basically the roots to the rest of the body. It's because it's the furthest out. The middle finger represents Saturn because it's the longest, the furthest out. 3, 6, 9, 12, 3, 6, 9, 12, zodiacs on each hand. And they got everybody doing that to disrespect the light that creates more agriculture than any other light, but they've corrupted it slowly over time. But what we're going to do is we're going to read something. I think it's safe to say that we're at a time to where really doesn't matter. That's what I've told somebody. I said, look, the reason they're not giving strikes out and shit is because there's something's coming. They don't fucking care. And then whatever hits, they're not going to let out of the news. They're just going to lay full throttle. But just listen to this. It says in a disturbing passage in Lecture 4, Steiner indicates that the elemental spirits, who in the past guided processes of life and death, are now active in technology, finance, and commerce, and no longer work on behalf of human well-being. In earlier times, the elemental spirits of birth and death essentially served the divine spirits who guided the world since our day, and this has been going on for some time now. The elemental spirits of birth and death are serving technology, industry, and human commerce. It is important to let this disturbing truth enter into our souls with all its power and intensity. Just look. Your birth certificate says commerce. That means property. The surname is above and beyond the Christian name. And these people, look, they come at me. I posted shit on Facebook today just to fish again. And I won. I caught some fish. They've already called me. Hey man, what are you posting stuff for? And it's like, I'm fixing to blast them. I'm fixing to tell everybody on Facebook around here that they can fucking eat my nuts and all. Because I'm getting sick of it. They come at me. I'm like, have you not seen Matt? This is you. See, they don't have nobody else to go at. They can't go at the system like us. They go at me. And that's Ariman. And that's the whole thing. That fucking spirit, whatever it is, wherever they were raised, I can take them and show them how their whole existence is a fucking lie. And they literally will come unglued. Because they're the ones that like running around spreading the gospel even though they're full of shit. And you don't tell people that ain't never been in no fucking trouble. Even though they spend money on crazy shit. And when you point it out, and it's like, see, the authority they come to me with is from the world. And see, that's why that they hate me and they lash out at me, is because the authority given to me comes from up there and from within, and they don't fucking have it. Never have. And they've been running around think they got some shit. They got Ariman. It's disgusting to know that people do not have it in them to look. They don't have it. Just go look. Oh, fuck you, man. It says, in a later lecture given in Berlin in 1922, Steiner describes the efforts of the fallen powers of darkness, the Ahrimanic powers, to mechanize the spirit of AI, to vegetabilize the soul, which is media, propaganda, advertising, politics, and to animalize the body, thereby undermining our human future. Just look at your society. Let's see. Let's see, to characterize anything relating to this region, one has to appeal to healthy, incorrupt minds. And this presents the greatest difficulties one can imagine. For when it comes to the truths which must now be made known, the whole constitution of the human soul will be affected even if people merely get to know them, let alone gain direct perception of them. External knowledge about the physical world has a certain effect, let us say, on the human head. But truths which go deep, even if only to the depth where they relate to the world immediately next to the physical world, touch the whole human being and not only the head. To proclaim such truths, one must be able to depend on a sound, incorrupt mind. In many spheres of life today, a sound, incorrupt mind is almost a rarity, whilst unsound, corrupt minds are far from uncommon. And the way individuals accept truths today strongly reveals the particular nature of their life of instincts and drives, the whole constitution of their souls and their state of mind. People with corrupt instincts who are unwilling to apply some degree of discipline to their lifestyles quickly tend to take an attitude that is completely determined by a base mentality, particularly when the truths to be accepted relate to the world bordering on the physical world. This happens only too easy. If people do not take a healthy objective interest in what goes on in the world, if they are essentially only interested in anything that relates to themselves, this will often corrupt their mind and attitudes to such an extent that they do not have the right instincts for hidden truths, and particularly for truths relating to the world bordering on the physical world. With respect to the physical world and anything relating to it, and to all the great advances humanity has made, I think I can say that physical nature makes sure this corruption does not go too far in human minds. People are confined within the limits imposed by physical nature. They cannot get very far with their instincts, and they have to obey the laws of nature. When we move from physical world into the one bordering on it, we are no longer on those leading strings. Guidance has to take another form, and a different inner certainty is needed. This is only possible, however, if the mind is incorrupt as we go beyond the physical level. Otherwise, we lose all control in that other region where we are no longer controlled by physical nature, nor by social or traditional prejudices. We are suddenly quite free and cannot bear such freedom. For instance, the physical world has many ways of preventing people from lying. If someone were to say at 6 o'clock in the evening that the sun had just come up, nature would soon demonstrate this to be wrong. It is like this with many things relating to the physical world. If people insist on talking nonsense about things relating to the higher worlds, even if it is only the one immediately next to our own, the physical world will not immediately show them to be wrong. This then is the reason why people may lose all control if they rush to escape the discipline that is imposed on the physical world. We ain't got time to finish that. I just wanted to read that one chapter. Okay. This is about books. So the corrupt mind. It says something else has to be considered when we speak of human evolution. It says it is that the spirits of darkness have power mainly over the rational mind and intellect. They cannot get a hold of the emotions nor the will, and above all, not the will impulses. This touches on a profound and most significant law of reality. You have, all of you, though to a different degree, reached a sufficiently respectable age for it to be fair to say you have lived several decades, or 2 or 3 decades at least. In the last decades, we have seen a wide variety of social efforts, many supported by press journalism, some also by book journalism, but very few based on real knowledge and on the facts. We have seen strange forms of social and political life evolve in Europe and America. Yet strangely, we find in all these things the ideals belonging to the end of the 19th and of the beginning of the 20th century, but not the emotions nor the will impulses. This is strange indeed. It only can be discovered if we carry out genuinely honest and conscientious investigations in the spiritual world. People who came down from the world of the spirit in the 1840s to incarnate in human bodies and are now up in that world again know about these things. They have the point of view, the spiritual world, and know that in recent decades that intellects were active which were ripe for the age, whilst the will impulses were still those of the 1840s. The will moves much more slowly in human evolution than do ideals. Please take this as highly significant truth, and will moves much more slowly than do thoughts. For example, the patriarchal, solid citizen type habits of people who were not being rebels or revolutionaries in the 1830s and 40s, but were more inclined to follow the general trend. I love you. Continue to live on into decades of which I am now speaking. Their thoughts went ahead. However, so there are continuous discrepancies between the life of thought and the life of will in evolution. Discrepancies that do not show themselves in all, but only in some spheres of life. Let me try to give you this right here. When he says something else that has to be considered when we speak of human evolution, it is that the spirits of darkness have power mainly over the rational mind and intellect. Listen, they cannot get hold of the emotions, nor the will, and above all, not the will impulses. Okay, but how do they do that? We've already done videos on this. Okay, emotions, nor the will, and above all, not the will impulses. The billboards, that's the impulses. You know what I mean? The will, which is cognition. Your emotions, all that shit comes from what we've talked about. Do you understand? Look, I wish I could read, like, he breaks down Darwinism theory. Okay, I ain't got time to read it. Listen, this motherfucker right here wasn't playing. Okay, he didn't have no distractions, and that's what I'm saying. Y'all go for image and all that. You cut the world off, and that shit comes to life. Not just his, but a lot of them. But it's like, you know, when you're seeing something, those emotions through the cartoons and stuff. And that's what we keep trying to say. Listen, it's very important for you to understand that this fucking world is real, like black magic and white magic, all kinds of shit. Cool shit that they destroyed. Fucking destroyed it all. And it wasn't witch trials. That was land. Main root cause was just like now. Certain people that don't go along. And in order to get rid of individuals who literally knew everything to take from earth to heal. Yeah. And then from there on, they're Satanists. We got to take pills, though, from them. They're making over there in labs, blowing each other up. But we got to take those. Those are from the Lord. It's the Lord's medicine. That's Satan. So they just burn them. And then, would Jesus burn anybody? No. But truthfully, back then, they had to cover their own ass. That's another reason. Look, sorcery was fucking literally running crazy. You know how the spinner bait thing went crazy there a long time ago that children had, the little spinner things? There's literally everywhere. Everywhere you look, that was them. Well, that's what we're talking about. You know, but it can't get more blatant in your face is, you know, because it's like with, I can tell you where I'm at, you know, to the average dumb person, goy, that's insane, but to people who can actually have a brain that they're using now on all cylinders, it's like, I can see like what powers that be designed in board meetings that took God knows how long and how many fucking things they threw away and ideas and all that. But I can see their vision that they literally raised mediums to have, because all this technology comes from the other side of dark shit, Satan shit. And I can see like what took them But since it's already there, I'll give them that benefit. Since it's already there, then I know the ether, the air is electric, and the Holy Spirit is in the air. Inspiration means in spirit. And be inspired. Let's go by all the group shit and be weirdo groups. So I'll give them that. They did leave a trail. And their trail is fucking everywhere. But I can see, like, what they envision before we're here. Because even to where we are here, you got to actually put the pieces together through the 1900s. You've got to look at each decade as a fucking puzzle, you know. And you'll hear this from them. Oh, no, that was a good decade, man. Hell yeah. And it's like, listen. Yeah, but it was all voted on and planned, 2 centuries, 3 before that. That Albert Pike ain't nothing. What the fuck? Come here. Even if he did write it. They're good at this, at writing shit and then just putting somebody out there. It's like, look, Elon Musk, seriously, even the schools ain't real. But let's go with it. He would probably fucking flunk a junior college right now. Yeah. And what's coming through me is every fucking thing that we would do would be challenged. And we would rip it in half. It doesn't matter. Let's go to the physics class. Let's go to astrophysics. We're going to talk about the anatomy and we're going to tie it all into y'all's bullshit books. Could you see them all in there? All them little young harmonic beings going, hey, Google. It's like, well, just shut up. We've proven that you're shit. You're nothing but a fucking dumb spirit they created. And listen, look, I tell my own children, I'm like, quit being fucking Ahriman. You know, but some people, I got my little boy a VR set. I know, you're like, what? Listen to me though. This is real, because it would be just like if, you know, if you like somebody and if you control a secret society and you feel like somebody's got something good to bring into it and that it's going to benefit the society, then you would give that individual a test. You see, I'm a heavy hitter. I'm at 3 right now on the volume. So you give them a test and see with the passions. So the ones at the top now, they look at that. And if you fail miserably with a gift, you know, because it's either you're going to come out of it or not. And there's God no telling how many people have lost opportunities not knowing they were being monitored to see how they acted towards certain gifts and stuff, because it's worldly. And that's how they test. Because they already know it's Ahriman. But they want to know how strong the Ahrimanic spirit is in the individual. So I give the VR and it's like, oh, he's wanted one of these. You know, he's 14 and I'm like, he ain't fucking been out not too long, you dipshit. But I said, listen, this is your final test from Daddy. I said, I'd like to see you, you know, not too distant future tear it up on social media. It'd be awesome. You know, people are like, damn, that thing was expensive. Fuck you, it's not real. That's what I'm saying. People, their emotions towards my shit, which ain't even mine, is fucked up. That's what I'm saying. And they take all that with them. People can't stay in their own fucking lane. Boy, you post some shit and then it's like, hey man, what are you doing? You know, you can't be doing that. We're going to come at you because we're a piece of shits. We're going to project our fucking anger and our authority on you because we ain't never been in no shit, even though they're worse than we ever were. They'll never admit it. Man, listen, I'm going to have to put a fucking sign up that says private property and do not come here. Because I'm tired of my people that I know. You know, because there was a point in time when people would come by to see if I was fucking dead. And I'm very grateful for that. You know, but they're still in that mode. They still look at me like I'm a sick person when they're the Ahrimanic sick being. You understand? It's fucked up. You know, and I've tried to explain, like, look, let's go back to old times. Teachers or shit like that used to get out of the way and let the student or the pupil teach them in time. Not anymore. I'm here and I'm better than you until I die. Fuck you, Matt. I can't show no humility. I can't listen. These individuals are always the one. They always got to fucking answer, and they always got to chime in and be top shit, you know what I mean? And then say Jesus loves you and go talk to fucking therapists that prescribe pills and shit. And it's fucking crazy. It's just like you are fucking ignorant. And then go blow tons of money on bullshit. And then justify it, but don't look at it. But then, Matt, you're a fuck up, man. And I don't want to talk to them. I don't want to talk to anybody. They ain't coming over here to say, man, I want to look into some of this shit. Nothing. They're coming over here to say, fuck you. We're still better than you. You're a sick person, Matt. It's like, I would like to put them on trial with their lifestyle. That's the only way. And they won't do it. I'm like, right out your day. And they get so mad. And I'm like, yeah, because I'll fuck you up. And the insanity is that anybody with a conscience, very few people come back and go, man, I thought about what you told me and I wrote out some shit. Man, I'm worried. Yeah, I see why I'm wrong. What's wrong with me? My doctor ain't never told me shit like that. And I'm like, well, some do, but that should be a plus. They should do that. And right off the rip. Do you understand what I'm saying? But they don't. You know, truthfully, I'm just fucking nervous. Because, man, these beings, man, that are in human cavities, like fucking evil ones, they're the producers and directors. They're the chubby ones. They're the nerdy ones. But what I'm saying is they're the ones that have, to you, they're billionaires. No. These are motherfucking warlock, dude. These are fucking, like, you have no idea the darkness that it takes to write these scripts that are on TV. You do not, people watch them with popcorn and have no idea that the fucking demon that has been developed in their brain from day fucking one. And now Disney's merging with Fortnite and the other day. Just get into that shit. The Cube came out of the ground the other day. Fucking Cube, which is Saturn. And then the Cube, it can morph into anything. Destroys it all, man. It fucked the whole game up and everything. Yeah, it's crazy. Because it's what it is, and they tell you in their shit. We play with what they come at us and destroy us with. We eat everything that we absorb is Ahriman. Power, energy, every bit of it. More commercials and fuck, you see my fucking degree from that school, Matt? No, I'm not listening to you. You see our fucking neighborhood? We've got 2 gates. It's like, they won't listen. I just try to tell them, look, man, your whole life has been a lie. Just getting fucking lying about being depressed and get over it. Just be lucky that you're not going to be, because some of these people, listen, these beings, these compliant, obedient little spirits of Ahriman that they've created, it doesn't matter. Just go to any city. It's the same fucking pharmacy, pills. It's the same brands, same resources. So when they feel like popping some more shit off, which they will soon, who's going to bring in those resources? Who's going to bring in all those little bitty addictions and those little bitty baggies that taste so good, that stimulates the brain like alcohol and then makes you turn into a fucking crackhead when they cut it off? Yeah. It's coming. All of it. Dude, listen, they always keep going, yeah, there's a hidden threat out there, But you don't get to say that and then stop. And this is what the dumb goys say. Well, man, they know stuff that they can't tell us. And it's like, but here's the whole point, you stupid shit. If they're saying there's one, then they know it's there. So if they say it and then shit pops off, then why in the fuck didn't you stop it? It's the conditioning for you. Stupid shit. It's real. Oh, it's going to be real. I can tell you what's going to be real. Starvation will be real. The supplies ain't real anyways. They've made people depend on paying money to wipe their ass. That's fucked up, isn't it? And only if they didn't put commercials out there, you would eventually go, why am I paying money for toilet paper? That's fucked up. We could grow hemp and do that shit. Every city and town could have a processing plant and shit, but no, they don't even know what that is. That's beyond Ariman. That's just a dumb goy. That when you tell them about water, they'll go, it's in a tower over there. They won't even fucking say, well, there's a ditch. That's mind control. And see, when they started these little towns and cities, this is what they did. You know, we'll all volunteer as firefighters, or I can't remember the term it was. But, you know, they had volunteers in the beginning. And then as everybody got to know each other, you know, people came in, moving in, resources, shit's getting set up. Now we're going to have offspring. You know what I mean? And now we're going to introduce radio, newspaper, and images and start making the offspring start to rebel. Hey, who wants to be a police officer? What's that? Well, you're going to just make sure everybody obeys this in here. And then slowly that offspring starts getting more negative Arianic energy in it. While the dumb parents ain't even getting nothing but forced to raise the children, and then eventually they get fucking in trouble, and then, well, we got to build this. We're going to take some taxes. Yeah, we got to build a thing to lock y'all up that's not complying in reality, and then get rid of some of y'all are, you know, they locked you up for reading the Bible too much, or sex, or whatever. Yeah, whatever the fuck they want to do. And then those generations grew into another one, and then you can see. This is where we are. Now, I don't know if I'll post it. I'll watch it. I am about to starve, though. I love you.